Good day, Mayor Glover, Vice Mayor Lucas Burke, Portsmouth City Council, citizens, and employees. I'm Dr. L. Pettis-Patton, Interim City Manager for the City of Portsmouth, Virginia, and I respectfully present to you our proposed fiscal year 2025 General Operating Budget and Capital Improvement Program. This year's proposed budget addresses critical priorities and will push the city forward while complying with our financial policies and best practices, ensuring the physical strength of the city sustained as it faces opportunities and challenges now and in the future. The proposed budget is the result of over 7 months of diligent work by your elected officials, appointed officers, and city departments. It invests in the community's safety, economic security, workforce, and future by leveraging the revenue growth seen over the past few years to fund specific initiatives. Before telling you about the proposed upcoming fiscal year, let's review a couple of the initiatives from the adopted fiscal year 2024 budget that are already making a difference for Portsmouth citizens. It is my pleasure to introduce Portsmouth Police Chief Stephen Jenkins, who will discuss the Real-Time Crime Center, and Portsmouth Fire Rescue and Emergency Services Chief Nestor Mangabat, who will discuss the new rescue squad for Station 11 in Craddock and new life-saving equipment being added to ambulances.
Hello, citizens of Portsmouth. I'm Stephen Jenkins, your Chief of Police for this great city. Over the last year, we've set out on several initiatives to help improve the safety in our city. One of them being our Real-Time Crime Center, for which I stand. You will see behind me our opportunity to see crimes as they occur in real time. This helps us to be better prepared with information as we deploy our officers in hopes of not only deterring crime, but capturing those individuals who commit it. In addition to that, we've already began to deploy our gunshot detection throughout several areas within our city, with plans to expand that gunshot detection to other areas. These give us an opportunity, again, to be knowledgeable about incidents that are occurring and provide better resources for our officers that not only make them safe, but make you safe too. We continue to deal with staffing shortages, and as your Chief of Police, we are doing all we can to bring our department to full staffing, and we're very optimistic on what that looks like in the future. Please continue to support not only your city, but this police department as we look to improve and become the best police department in the state. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nestor Mangabat. I'm the Fire Chief for the City of Portsmouth. The budget initiative for FY24 is the addition of Medic 11 to the Craddock community. New Medic 11 has improved service delivery and medic unit coverage to the City of Portsmouth. To date, in just 7 months, Medic 11 has completed 1,039 medical calls for service. During this period, the city saw an increase of service demand by 8.5%, of which Medic 11 covered 6.4% of those calls. So what is the impact of adding Medic 11 to the EMS delivery system? There has been a reduction ranging from 10 to 22% with call distribution for 4 of the 5 primary medic units. However, when we analyze the current medical call volume for 2024, we are seeing an increase of citywide demand for services from the previous year. In the FY24 CIP, biomedical equipment was purchased. The department purchased 4 patient stretchers and 4 stair chairs to better serve patients and to provide modern technology to assist personnel with lifting and transporting patients. This provides safety to reduce injuries to our first responders. We also purchased 40 AEDs, replacing the current operational inventory increasing the capability of rapid deployment for cardiac arrest events. We also purchased and deployed a new software platform used for a specialized population for medication management. We also replaced an aging iPad inventory for patient care reporting and billing purposes. Thank you.
Thank you to our chiefs for updating us on the implementation of the FY 2024 budget. I would now like to highlight a few of the proposed budget initiatives. The proposed budget maintains the 5-cent real property tax credit, continuing much-needed tax rate relief for our citizens. It also maintains the personal property tax rate and the tax relief rate of 50%, subsidized by the city by $4 million. The proposed FY 2025 operating budget fully funds the Portsmouth Public Schools Superintendent's Estimate of Needs. The estimate of needs reflect the budget priorities of the Portsmouth Public School Board and the additional funding requested from the city. The city's $78 million contributions to schools will fund 7% raises for teachers and school administrators, as well as recruitment bonuses for new teachers, new instructional programming, and a new Fuchsia's camera system and other technology upgrades. None of these services provided by the city would be possible without the tireless and dedicated work of our city employees. This budget proposes a 3.5% general wage increase for the city's full-time employees and 3% wage increase for the state-supported full-time employees. These wage increases will keep the city of Portsmouth competitive with our neighboring localities and attract top-flight talent to join our team. The proposed budget will fund new initiatives to address homelessness, bolster our workforce, expand our recreation offerings, and improve our city's infrastructure. I would like to introduce a few of our dedicated employees who will discuss some of the other exciting offerings included in this year's proposed budget. Dr. Nathan Woodard, Director of Behavioral Health Care Services, will provide an overview of our permanent supportive housing and school counseling programs. Mr. Mark Pomachuk, Director of Parks and Recreation, will review new park programs and facility improvements. Mrs. Nala Salah of the Department of Economic Development will introduce you to Portsmouth At Work, a workforce development program offered by Portsmouth Economic Development. And Dr. Alexander Benitez, Director of Museums and Tourism, and Mrs. Noelle Torian will show you some of the exciting programming for Black History Now.
Hello, my name is Dr. Nathan Woodard. I'm the Director of Portsmouth Department of Behavioral Health Care Services. I'm here today to talk about a budget initiative, Permanent Supportive Housing. Our Permanent Supportive Housing is a grant-funded program through the Virginia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services. This program will allow us to provide permanent housing to individuals as well as families. The main criteria for permanent supportive housing is that the individual or family member must have a mental health disorder. Unlike other permanent supportive housing programs, you do not have to meet the HUD criteria of chronic homelessness. In order to access this program, you will call our main office. That number is 757-393-8618. Behavioral Healthcare Services has an awesome initiative with the Portsmouth Public School System. This initiative will allow licensed clinical therapists to be in several of the schools. The hope and goal is that the staff will provide therapy to not just the kids, but the families if need be. The goal of this program is to help the kids deal with issues that they may have at home and or in school. With that being said, the kids will then have an opportunity to have a warm and safe learning environment. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mark Palmerchuk, and I'm the Director for the City of Portsmouth Department of Parks and Recreation. This year, you'll see in our budget request, we have added new full-time positions throughout the city. This is in part due to the fact that we have added over 4 new recreation sites in different parts of the city, as well as dozens of new programs. In order to keep up with the increasing participation, we need to have certified professional staff on site to make sure these programs run well. Some of the positions that you will see are activity leader positions for some of our recreation centers, as well as our schoolhouse rec sites. Additionally, we have 1 activity leader designated for our ever-growing Portsmouth Warriors boxing team. Lastly, you'll see a recreation specialist position that would be added for the Glorious City Park, our flagship park here in Portsmouth. So if you or anyone you know would like to be a part of this great city, I encourage you to go to the city's website and apply today. Fiscal year 24 was a fantastic year for the Department of Parks and Recreation. One of our main highlights was our newly added program, Holiday Nights in the Park out at City Park, which allowed thousands of citizens to come out and enjoy a unique light display around our iconic Pokey Smoky train ride. Another one of our major upgrades was right here at Neighborhood Facility Recreation Center, one of our oldest recreation centers at 900 Elm Avenue. Not only did we upgrade the interior and exterior, but we added a lot of new amenities so we could host a lot of new programs for you. Coming up fiscal year 25, we want to keep our momentum going. Some of the highlights include our City Park Master Plan, which will go out for another round of public engagement. This will allow you, the citizens, to tell us what you would like to see at our flagship park. Secondly, we have our Portsmouth Warriors boxing team out at the Portsmouth Sportsplex. It is a boxing team that is USA sanctioned, and it hosts for kids ages 5 to 17 years old. Lastly, I'd like to mention major upgrades and renovations coming to one of our oldest Little League complexes, the Charles Pete Little League. We're adding new fields, a new concession stand, lighting, and all the other amenities you would like to see in a high-quality recreational facility. So whether you've been with us before or you're just hearing about us now, please come out and check out one of our programs or facilities. I hope to see you there.
My name is Nala Saleh, Manager of Workforce Development with Portsmouth Economic Development. The Portsmouth At Work program under Department of Economic Development offers comprehensive training for Portsmouth residents, covering entry-level skills to career certification at no cost. The initiative enhances workforce accessibility, fostering meaningful employment, skill development, and certification for residents seeking to upskill or reskill for livable wages. The program has served 350 residents by fiscal year 2024 in quarter 2 and is poised to surpass the previous year's outreach. Portsmouth at Work was a piloted program established in 2021 that has been historically funded by the Portsmouth Economic Development Authority and grants. This budget proposes the program becomes a permanent city-funded initiative to ensure programs continue long-term viability. Portsmouth at Work plays a crucial role in creating a skilled workforce pipeline, benefiting both residents and businesses, with a focus on reducing financial insecurities in the ALICE communities in Portsmouth. Portsmouth at Work is open to Portsmouth residents from Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We host monthly workshops and hiring events. We also will be offering a return to work career readiness program for formerly incarcerated residents, an at-risk youth internship program, and also we work with Portsmouth businesses to assist with their workforce need at no cost to either the businesses or the residents. Portsmouth at Work is a crucial initiative for the residents of Portsmouth because it provides intensified services to help them with their workforce need, and it provides businesses with a qualified workforce. Thank you.
My name is Alex Benitez, and I am the Director of the Department of Museums and Tourism. I'm standing inside the Portsmouth Colored Community Library Museum, one of the city's most important historic buildings. Once the only city library accessible to the African American community, exhibits inside retell the history of local segregation and honor the individuals who fought for change. The museum also hosts exhibits that celebrate African American heritage and accomplishments. My colleague Noelle Torian will tell you about one of our featured annual programs.
Hi, I'm Noelle Torian with the Department of Museums and Tourism. I'm here at the Portsmouth Colored Community Library in front of our Black History Now 2024 exhibit, Art is Revolutionary. Every year, Portsmouth Museums presents a multi-week series called Black History Now, celebrating and commemorating African American culture in our community. This year, for the first time ever, our Black History Now series has been curated by Grammy Award-winning local production company, Home Studios. For 2024, our theme has been Art is Revolutionary, and we've been celebrating Black excellence through a variety of art forms, through offering carefully selected experiences for the community, intentionally highlighting the power, passion, and creativity of Black artists, filmmakers, musicians, and changemakers. Our Black History Now events delve into the artistry, achievements, and struggles of Black artists as a way to foster understanding, empathy, and progress towards a more inclusive and equitable future. At events so far this year, we've had the privilege of seeing our community members and leaders engaging in meaningful conversations and celebrating the power of Black art and what that means to our community here in Portsmouth. We are so excited to continue this programming throughout the year in an effort to ensure that Black History Month is not just a commemoration of the past, but also a catalyst for a brighter future.
I would like to introduce the city's budget officer, Mr. Trey Burke, who will review some of the other items included in the budget, and then an overview of the finances and budget process.
I have the pleasure of speaking with you today on a few of the strategies and initiatives included in the budget, as well as providing a broad overview of the fiscal year 2025 manager's proposed budget. To provide access and services to populations without reliable transportation, including youth and seniors, this budget provides for a mobile resource center. This vehicle and the associated staff will provide training on digital skills to help with workforce development and also help with creative pursuits such as coding, robotics, and video production. This will also allow us to provide interviews with educators to our students. As the city continues to grow its economic base, the facilitation of real estate transactions becomes increasingly necessary. This budget proposes a real estate development specialist co-funded by the Portsmouth Economic Development Authority. With the steady expansion of the city's stormwater infrastructure, there is an increased need to maintain and repair the ever-growing system. New stormwater maintenance positions will reduce the amount of time necessary to complete work orders and increase the number of projects that can be done to repair and maintain the system without needing to contract out work. For streets and highway maintenance, this budget includes additional equipment operators and laborers. Similar to the stormwater management department positions, this move will allow us to increase the amount of preventative maintenance and repair projects that can be done without contracting out. This budget proposes working with not-for-profit organizations to purchase and forgive medical debt held and incurred by Portsmouth citizens. Medical debt is incurred by individuals through no fault of their own, and relieving the debt can improve their access to employment, housing, and transportation. Medical debt can be purchased for pennies on the dollar and can meaningfully improve the lives of those who receive the debt forgiveness. This budget proposes the initial costs of administering collective bargaining. This includes one new attorney for the city attorney's office. This budget proposes a new director of permits and inspections. This individual will oversee both the city building official and the Department of Permits and Inspections. This year's capital program either includes or continues funding for the Portsmouth City Jail relocation, Portsmouth Public Schools Career and Technical Education Center, Public Utilities dam upgrades, Public Safety Facility for Fire and Police, Housing Resource Center for Behavioral Health Care Services, City Park Reimagining, the City Fiber Network, and neighborhood overhauls of streets, stormwater infrastructure, and water and sewer. I will now provide an overview of general fund revenues. Local taxes comprise 70% of all general fund revenues. Local taxes include those paid on real estate, vehicles, and business equipment, as well as use taxes such as utilities, sales, and restaurant taxes. Local taxes also includes pilot or payment in lieu of taxes, where entities independent of the city will pay the city for specific services. Another large portion of general fund revenues are those from other governments, notably the Commonwealth of Virginia. These revenues account for 18% of the general fund budget and include support for local services such as the sheriff's office or courts. It also includes the casino gaming revenue
and include grants such as the Virginia Department of Transportation roadway maintenance funding. One commonly cited measure of fiscal strength is the penny on the tax rate. In fiscal year 2024, this number was just under $1 million, and in fiscal year 2025, this number will be $1,050,000. The proposed budget programs $15.8 million of casino gaming revenues and puts that money to the following priorities: real property 5-cent tax credit, Portsmouth Public Schools contribution, public safety salary compression, personal property excess PPTRA, the mowing schedule, Starbase base refresh, and the Hampton Roads Alliance. When people think about local governments, they think about the services they see in the departments that provide them. This would include parks and recreation, libraries, and fire and police. This chart shows how the budget breaks down by department. Public safety, which includes fire, police, and E911, is the largest portion of the budget at $81 million, or 25% of the total. The single largest expense in the city's budget is the schools contribution. This totals $78 million. Non-departmental expenses, including transfers to other funds, total 18% of the general fund budget. General government includes many of the city's administrative functions. This includes the city manager, human resource management, constitutional officers, and finance. This totals $24 million, or 7% of the overall budget. Public Works comprises 5% of the overall budget, but this excludes stormwater and public utilities. The budget grew by 11%, owing to many contractual increases. Portsmouth Public Utilities is committed to providing safe drinking water and effective sanitary sewer collection to the citizens of Portsmouth. Faced with the critical need to respond to an aging infrastructure and federal and state mandates, a recurring 5% annual increase to water and sewer rates was adopted as part of the fiscal year 2018 budget. The proposed budget includes increased rates at Bidewee Golf Course to fund necessary greens and facility improvements. It also institutes a year-round, all-season rate and eliminates changes between seasons. It also reduces fees for junior golfers and for replays. City staff will provide presentations to Council on April 9th and 23rd on various budget topics, and City Council will hold public hearings on the budget and its related ordinances on those dates. A public hearing on the tax rate will be held on April 23rd and May 14th. City Council will consider the budget for adoption on May 14th, and Portsmouth Public School Board will consider their budget for adoption on May 23rd. Individuals interested in learning more about the fiscal year 2025 manager's proposed operating budget and capital program can visit portsmouthva.gov or visit your local library. I appreciate your time and attention on this budget. I hope you have a great day.
I hope you have found this presentation of the proposed fiscal year 2025 operating budget and capital improvement program informative. And in closing, I thank you for joining me. We must always remember the future. It is our duty to ensure that the future of Portsmouth is positively impacted by the decisions we make today. With that in mind, I look forward to your consideration of this proposed budget. Have a great day.